Hello brain nerds, my name is Chase and welcome to the Big Brain Busters. So in this video I am going to be taking you through Earth geometry. Specifically this is Mathematics Syllabus D. So I'm going to be solving some past paper questions from Examination Council of Zambia past paper questions. So stick with me. Okay, so our first question reads: the points A, B, C, and D are on the surface of the Earth, taking pi to be 3.142 and r to be 3437 nautical miles. So r is simply the radius of the Earth. And take note of this unit, nautical miles, because sometimes they can give you in kilometers and it will be another value. But then in this case, they've given you in nautical miles. So this should be your unit. Okay, so this is the Earth and the points on the Earth. Then the first question says find the difference in latitude between point C and B. So let's take a look at point C. So you have point C to be there and point B to be there, and they want you to find the difference in latitude. They don't want you to find the distance, but they want you to find the difference in latitude. So one thing you should know is that latitudes are simply lines that run horizontally. Okay, so these are latitudes. Then longitudes are the lines that run vertically in this case. Okay, so now to find the difference in latitude between point C and B, what we'll do is let us first of all find the coordinates of point C and B. So to find the coordinates, one thing you should know is that the coordinates are always latitude, comma, longitude. Okay, coordinates on the Earth, of points on the Earth. So in this case, to find the coordinate for point B, what we'll say is latitude. So point B lies on 50 degrees latitude. So this is the latitude where point B lies. Wow, what is happening? Okay, so this is the latitude where point B lies, 50 degrees north, comma, then it lies on longitude 30 degrees east. Okay, longitude 30 degrees east. Okay, then to find the coordinates for point C lies on latitude 70 degrees south, comma, it lies on 30 degrees, longitude 30 degrees what? East as well. Okay, so now to find the difference is simply denoted by the symbol theta. Theta is simply difference. Difference is equal to, so difference in latitude, one thing you should know is that you should take note of the signs or perhaps the directions. Okay, so in this case, whenever you have directions which are different from each other, in this case we have north and south. So if you have different signs you add, same directions you subtract. So in this case, if you have north and south, which are different directions, you will simply add 50 degrees north plus 70, okay, 70 degrees south. Okay, but if we had same directions such as north or south, we would have subtracted. So now in this case, to find our difference, we'll say 50 plus 70, which will give us 120. So this is our difference between point C and B. Okay, our next question simply reads: calculate the length of the circle of latitude 50 degrees north in nautical miles. So this is latitude 50 degrees here. Okay, so they want us to calculate the length of this circle. So length of the circle is simply known as what? Circumference. So they want us to calculate the circumference of latitude 50 degrees. So circumference, as we know from the formula, should be 2 pi r. Okay, 2 pi r denoting the radius of the Earth. But then in this case, since it is not a great circle, since we are calculating a small circle, which is the latitude, we simply multiply this by what? We multiply it by cos alpha. Okay, so this is the formula for finding circumference of a latitude. Then we'll say circumference is equal to 2, we substitute our values, multiplied by 3.142 multiplied by 34, 37 multiplied by cos what? Cos alpha. What is alpha? So alpha is simply the latitude which you've been given. So in this case, we've been given 50 degrees. Okay, so this is our latitude. So now let's try to punch these values on a calculator and see our answer. Okay, so our answer is simply 13,883. Okay, 13,883. Remember that our units are in what? Nautical miles. Okay, this is a rounded figure, right? Okay, so let us go to our next question. So our next question simply reads, find the distance of AD in nautical miles. So distance AD, as you can see, A is on this point, then D is on this point. Okay, so now to find the distance of AD in this case, how do you find the distance? So as you can see, point A and D, they lie on the same longitude. So meaning that we are finding the distance in longitude in this case. So to find the distance in longitude, you simply use the formula distance is equal to theta, and we said theta is simply the difference. So theta divided by 360, okay, multiplied by 2 pi r, then this is the full formula, okay, of calculating a distance on a longitude line. Okay, since longitudes are great circles, so you don't add cos alpha or cos theta. Okay, so now to find the distance of AD, what's the first thing that you're supposed to do? The first thing that you're supposed to do is simply to find the what? The difference, which is the theta. So theta, which is the difference, is equal to the difference in what? In latitude. So what is the difference in latitude between points A and point D? So the difference in latitude, as you can see, point A lies on latitude what? Latitude 50 degrees north, and point D lies on latitude 70 degrees south. So now meaning that our difference is simply what? Is simply 120 degrees. So in this case, now we can proceed by saying distance. Okay, let me just write it from here. Distance is equal to 120 divided by 360 multiplied by 2 by 3.142 multiplied by r, which is 37 nautical miles in this case. Then to punch our values on the calculator, let us see, and our answer is simply 7,199.37 nautical miles. So this is the distance between point A and point D. Okay, wow. So let's proceed. Okay, so our next question, question 2, reads P, which is a point, Q, which is another point, R and S are points on the what? Surface of the earth. Then these are the coordinates. Okay, so point P lies on latitude 80 degrees, longitude 10 degrees east. Then Q lies on this and that in that order, as you can see from this question. So now the first question reads, show the points on a clearly labeled sketch of the surface of the earth. So now one thing you should know is that sometimes they will give you the surface of the earth, they will give you the points on the surface of the earth, but then in this question sometimes they won't. They will want you to actually demonstrate. Okay, so for you to demonstrate this, you need to take into account the latitudes and the longitudes, and as we said, the coordinates simply go as latitude comma what comma longitude. So meaning that the first ones are simply the latitudes. So point P lies on latitude what? 80 degrees north. So you should know that the latitudes are simply the horizontal lines and the longitudes are simply the what? The vertical lines. So let us try to see to sketch these points on the surface of the earth. Okay, so if we were to draw our earth, as you can see, these are the latitudes. Let me use my pointer. Okay, so these are the latitudes and these are the longitudes, the horizontal lines. So now using this information that we've been given, find that we have mainly two latitudes. So we have 80 degrees north, 80 degrees north, and as we know that north is this side, south is this side, east is this side, and west is this side. Okay, so meaning that to actually put this on this diagram, we can say this is latitude 80 degrees north and this is latitude 85 degrees south. Okay, then to check out our longitudes, you'll see that we have been given two main longitudes. So we have 10 degrees east and 70 degrees east. So these are the two, both they are on the east side, so these are the labels in this case. So we have the 10 degrees and the 70 degrees. Okay, then let us now try to actually plot these points on this surface of the earth. So you find that this here is point P, which lies on the latitude 80 degrees and the longitude what, 10 degrees. So we've plotted point P. Then to plot point Q, this is point Q, which lies on latitude 80 and longitude 70. Then to plot point R, you find that, or point S there. Point S lies on latitude 85 and longitude 10. Then point R lies on latitude 85 and longitude what? Longitude 70 degrees east. So in this case, like this, you've gotten your marks for the first question. It's that simple. Okay, then we proceed to the next question. So the next question simply tells us to calculate the distance QR along the longitude. So QR, so as you can see, we have point Q here and point R here, and they are along longitude what, 70. So they want us to calculate the distance. So remember, distance along longitude, we say distance is equal to what? Is equals to theta, which is the difference, divided by 360 multiplied by, so multiplied by 2 pi r. You don't add cos here in this case, since it is a great circle. So first of all, let's find our what? Our theta. So to find our theta, we'll say theta, which is the difference. So here we are calculating the difference in latitude. So we'll see the difference in latitude between point Q and R. So what are the difference in latitude? So you find that they lie on latitude 80 and 85. Since these are in different directions, so in this case you actually add. Okay, so to add this, and you find that you say 80 degrees north, 80 degrees north plus 85 degrees south, since they lie on different directions, and your answer will simply give you 165 degrees. Okay, so this is the difference between point Q and R. Then now to calculate the distance, we'll say distance is equal to theta, which is 165 divided by 360, okay, multiplied by 2 times 3.142 multiplied by what? Multiplied by r, which is 37 nautical miles. Okay, then to find this distance, we punch this on the calculator, and our answer will actually give us 9,899.13. 13 what are the units? Nautical miles. So this is the distance between point Q and point R. As simple as that. Let's proceed. Okay, so our next one is simply the circumference of latitude 85 degrees south. So we are calculating the distance, which is the circumference of latitude 85 degrees. And remember, we said that latitudes are horizontal lines, so they want us to calculate the circumference of this entire circle here, this latitude here. Okay, so remember that circumference is given by the formula circumference is equals to 2 pi r. Okay, then since here we are dealing with a small circle, so we add what? We multiply it by cos alpha. Okay, cos alpha. Right, then to calculate this, we'll simply say circumference of latitude 85 degrees south, we'll say it is equal to 2 multiplied by 3.142 multiplied by 37. Okay, then multiplied by cos, then the alpha is simply the what? It's simply the latitude that we've been given, so in this case it's 85 degrees, so multiplied by 85 degrees. And to find the answer of the distance, the circumference, what we'll do is we'll punch this on the calculator. Okay, then and our answer is simply 1880 82. Okay, 0.4 nautical miles. This is our answer. Okay, so that's the circumference that we have found. Let's proceed. Okay, so the next question simply reads, in the diagram below, A and B are points on latitude 60 degrees north. So A and B 60 degrees north, while C is a point on latitude 60 degrees south. Taking pi to be 3.142 and r, which is the radius of the earth, to be 3,437 nautical miles again. So they want us to calculate the distance BC here along the so BC, as you can see, B is here and C is here. So along the longitude, not latitude, this was a typing error. So along longitude 60 degrees east, so this is the longitude line, okay, in nautical miles. So they want us to calculate this distance from point B to C. Okay, so to calculate this distance, what do we do? So we will simply use the formula. So remember this distance along longitude line, we'll say BC is equal to what? Theta divided by 360, okay, multiplied by 2 pi r. So since it is on a great circle, which is the longitude, we do not multiply by cos alpha. So the first thing, let us find first the what? The theta, which is the difference. So let us find the difference between B and C in latitude. So B lies on latitude 60 and C lies on latitude 60 south. So they are of different directions, so simply we will add. So we'll say 60 plus 60, which will give us what? 120. So the difference here is simply 120. So say 120 divided by 360, okay, multiply by 2 by 3.142 multiply by r, which is 37, okay, 37, which is the radius. And to calculate this, so say BC, distance BC will be equal to what? So let's punch this on the calculator, and our answer is simply 7,199.37 nautical miles, since they've told us to calculate in nautical miles. So this is our answer. This is our distance BC. Okay, let's proceed. Then the next question simply says that a ship sails from C to D in 12 hours. Find its speed in knots. In fact, it's supposed to be knots, as in K N-O-T, knots. Okay, so this is the same diagram. So now they're telling us that a ship sails from C to D. So from this point here, C, to point D here. Okay, we are supposed to find its speed. So as it sails from point C to D, and the time that it has traveled is simply what? 12 hours. So one thing you should know is that to calculate the speed is given by this formula. Speed is equals to distance, okay, distance traveled over what? Over the time taken. So now here we're supposed to find the distance which this ship sailed from point C to point D. So remember distance, this is distance along a latitude. So we'll simply use the formula distance is equal to theta over 360, okay, theta over 360 multiplied by 2 pi r multiplied by cos alpha, okay, because this is distance along what? A latitude line. Then we can substitute our values. So here first of all we're supposed to find the distance, okay, for us to calculate the speed. So if we do not know the distance, then we can't calculate speed. But in this case now, let us find our difference first. So what is the difference between point C and D? So what is the difference in longitude in this time? Since they are lying on the same latitude, so we find the difference in longitude. And the difference in longitude, as you can see, they lie on different longitudes, 60 degrees east and 60 degrees west. So meaning that we will add okay, so our theta will be 120 when we add 60 plus 60. So it will be 120 divided by 360, okay, multiplied by 2 by 3.142 multiplied by 3437 not commas, then multiplied by cos, what is the latitude that we've been given? We've been given 60 degrees, so this is the latitude. So now to punch this on our calculator, okay, and our answer has been given as the distance between C and D that the ship traveled was 3,599.68 nautical miles. Okay, so this is the distance that it traveled. So now to find the speed, we can say speed. So one thing you should know is that speed, when it has been given in nautical miles, the time should be in hours, and the unit for speed will become knots. Okay, instead of the kilometers per hour or per minute that we are used to, it will become knots. So here we can say speed is equals to distance, which is 3,599.68, okay, nautical miles, divided by the time, which is 12 hours. Okay, then our speed for the ship will be equal to what? It will be equal to, so this answer divided by 12 hours, and our speed is equal to 299.97 knots. Okay, knots, or you can just say the speed was equal to 300 knots. Okay, 300 knots in this case. All right, so this is where we end our video. I hope you've enjoyed and I hope you've learned a lot. So don't forget to please share, like, and subscribe to our video. This is where we end. Shalom, shalom.